Hello again, everyone. Jerry, Old Guys Review. So, since I had some questions and earlier comments, here's my promised video. So, Friday night, 8:30 Alaska time, where I'm at. If you're down in the States, most of you, that's 4 hours behind. If you're in California, it's only an hour behind. If you're in Europe, I don't have a clue. So, just got to a stopping point this evening. I'm having a hard time with my four-legged kids because of one thing. Alexa, what's the temperature outside right now?
Right now, it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 46 degrees.
Thank you, Alexa. My kids are constantly wanting, they're at the door. They want to be outside. So, 8:30, I figured I've had a couple of solid hours working. The main chassis, I guess it is the main chassis of the trailer, is completely done. I just got done with the neck. The most time consuming on this is if you build the kit. Everything, this is all glued together, glued on. So glued on. So I decided while everything was gluing, I'm at step 31, which is more than halfway through since there's 57 steps that it seems in the book. But I figured the most important thing to show is some of the things I've run into so far, which none of them are going to involve putting it together. This this trailer is one of the most heavy-duty, well-built piece of equipment I've ever built. When you build this, if you build Tamiya trailers, joke. Tamiyas are thin aluminum. You get a very little bit of metal. This, you get a little bit of plastic. So, here are some tips. First off, it doesn't show anywhere in the instructions, but thanks Tamiya for your gratuitous tubes of thread lock. I use that on all the main channel parts so far. On everything on this neck, all thread lock. I want to make sure that with the way this build's been progressing, this thing is going to be something I'd pull behind my own personal full-size truck. Looking at this lower piece right now, over 31 inches long, there is these little cover pieces for the D-rings are plastic, but the inner parts of them, metal. D-rings are metal. This is plastic. These little tubes that I believe are going to be part of the suspension system. Those air tubes or air tanks, they're plastic. And the cover that goes over the poop deck, as it's called in the instructions. What you're looking at right now, those are the only few pieces of plastic on this main assembly. Everything on the neck that's plastic is mainly cosmetic. So, this book, when you get it, first thing you do is go right to the back. You've got all your screws labeled. They have a number on them. If you want to make this go so much easier, label them. Because once you take that little white thing out to use them, they vanish. And when you're looking in the book, they're going to be by the numbers in here. You'll have to look at those teeny tiny sizes to try to find the right bolt. So I did that on both the boxes so far. All the screws have been excellent. Not a single problem with any screw. Any tapped hole, they've been perfect. The only reason I used thread lock on this was for my own peace of mind. I am quite confident that you could build this kit without using any of that, and it would stay together as long as you tightened it up. That's how well the tapped holes and the way that the screws have gone into everything. Tight, tight. This is excellent. But there's also, you're going to see some of the parts in this book. They have every part listed. Some of the bags, quite a few of the bags so far, have not corresponded with the number on the bag. So this model, definitely you don't want to build it sleepy, because you need to be on the top of your game. There's little bits that'll catch you, and as heavy duty as this sucker is, you don't want to have to go back and take things apart. Luckily, I have stayed at the top of my game on it so far, but never say never. So those are the fiddly, the bolts. If you don't have them, if you're going to build this kit, go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy you a bag of these clips. I got at least 50 of these. That made the gluing process on the neck effortless. I glued them, moved on to the next one. Throw some clips on it. It's going to stay right where you put it. Another fiddly thing, the tires. So when you put the tires together, there are 3 holes, as you see in there. So you have inners and outers. These outers have the raised edge that has to go into the holes on this. They'll feel like they're lined up. You go to drop your screw in there, and you're not. The way that they fit in here, they only fit in one way. And that is, there's the spare tire. So they'll fit in those little holes, but they'll fit cattywampus of the holes. So you set all the tires out and you'll think you've got them, and you don't have them in. Perfect check, put them together, give it a little twist. They're not going to move. Then you know you're in. If there's any play in it, pull them apart, put them back together. Don't want anyone, luckily, I caught that on the first tire. So I do not speak from experience, and I'm pretty pleased with that. Well, and I didn't weigh it, but I'll tell you what. This thing right here, this part, probably weighs more than any truck on my shelves. This is just one big hunk of metal. Excellent, excellent. So, this was just going to be quick to show you what I've found so far. I'm hoping for a miracle, and the lights may work when I finish putting it together, which should be tomorrow. Hopefully. But as you heard from Alexa, It's pretty nice outside. And it's going to be nice tomorrow. And it's not often that I can get out there and get all my leaves killed with my lawnmower tomorrow. But as I promised Justin, I don't know, Justin, does this look like the same manual you have? Hey, my box says something, but my book says kit, self-assembly. So I don't know if that's yours or not. 40 pages, look at that, gives me all the specs. Tells you about driving it, lubing it, precautions, but the most important is all your list of parts, which are all in here. So like I said, everybody, go through this, label your screws, but the best thing about it is, I'm trying to see if I can find one of these right off the bat that I remember that was screwy. Well, I don't. Look at that, just for putting the fifth wheel on. 8 bolts. But bad news for anyone who has the heavy haul without some substantial modification to this fifth wheel. It won't work. Fits on a Tamiya. It's too tall. It doesn't sit on the fifth wheel itself, the pin, but it would work in a pinch. So, a little sad about that. But if you do have the heavy haul and you want to experiment, I'm not quite ready to do this experiment yet, but there's the pintle. You'd have to trim these sides down so it was only round on these edges and flat on the sides to get it to fit on the heavy haul. So that's a little bit disappointing for me. But hopefully someday Banggood will get my truck here that's made for pulling this. But who knows? So everybody, there you go. I will probably be seeing what else I can do tomorrow on this. I'd like to get some paint down on it, but we'll see how it goes. Everyone, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Ask me if you have any other questions while I have this thing apart, through tomorrow afternoon. So, it's Jerry. Later.